I don't think we should lose sight of the fact that this is a pretty amazing day, right? We're transferring power peacefully from one president to the next, from one party to the next. And while there seem to be, a couple people that are out there making trouble on the streets of Washington, there
Yes.
are millions and millions of others who are witnessing, a really historic day. I don't like the fact that Donald Trump's going to be my president, but I was at the ceremony today because I respect this process, and I think it's a miracle. His speech, was a campaign speech. It was mostly red meat for his supporters. I think the folks who voted for him, will probably love every minute of it, and the folks who didn't vote for him, probably didn't find anything there. Donald Trump is who he is. He's going to be a divisive president, and we have to live with that and have to figure out a way to deal with it.
And of course, you mentioned the couple protesters who are out on the streets right now. And as I was walking over, actually, I saw people being tear gassed. And I'm wondering if you have a stance on that.
Well, I don't know the details of these protests. I don't support anybody taking peaceful protests and turning it into violent protests, but I don't know what all the details are. The fact of the matter is that there's going to be a lot of protests of this administration. I hope all of them are peaceful, nonviolent. Civil disobedience has been a very important part of our country's history, and I think you're going to have a lot of very angry folks out there protesting this president tomorrow throughout the next 4 years. And he and this country better get used to that.
And you mentioned that a number of the women from Connecticut who are marching, and I assume they're allies as well. Will you be marching?
So I will be home taking care of my 2 young boys because my wife will be out there marching with many of our friends from Connecticut. We're hosting a lot of the marchers at our house. They're staying on our couch and on our floor in sleeping bags this evening. And I think tomorrow will be a really important day. It's being billed as a women's march, but this is really a march to show that there are men, women of every geography, of every race, of every background that are united to make sure that this administration maintains a commitment to dignity and justice, and that they're going to be held accountable for that.
And if you have, something to say for the marchers, I'm sure that you'll give a pep speech to, the people you're talking to tonight. But what would it be, especially for Connecticut women who are, very scared right now, even though Roe v. Wade is very strong in Connecticut, scared of losing their rights, scared of losing access to federal benefits?
Well, there's no anxiety or fear or sadness today that can't be solved by political action. None of the things that Trump has proposed are inevitable, right? His proposal to rip health care away from millions of Americans is kind of melting in front of us because of political resistance. They tried to change the ethical rules of the House of Representatives to, let corruption be much easier, and people rose up and they had to pull it down. Political action has the ability to change reality here in Washington. And so I want to make sure that people's anxiety and their mobilization today doesn't go away just because the inauguration is over. People are going to have to keep at it and get involved in their local communities, not just focus on protesting on the streets of Washington, but people need to take over their school board or their zoning board, right? Join their Democratic town committee and become activated at the local level and stay activated at the national level.
Yeah, perfect.
And I also hope that people in Connecticut who are deeply fearful of Trump will also give the room to people like me and Senator Blumenthal to work with him if we do find some areas where we can get together for the benefit of Connecticut. I deeply disagree with Donald Trump, but I'm not going to fall into the same trap that Republicans did, which is to resist the agenda of a president of the opposite party, no matter what it is. If he's proposing bad things for Connecticut, I'm going to fight him like hell. If he's proposing things or working on things that I think will benefit the state or are in concert with our values, then I'll work with him.
Yeah, and do you think not all hope is lost for bipartisanship?
I don't think you can do this job without, approaching it with a half-glass full perspective. And so nothing that I've seen since the election night speech tells me that Donald Trump is going to reach out and work with Democrats. But Trump may revive bipartisanship in the sense that it may exist without him. Republicans and Democrats may join together to stop some of the things that he's proposing, whether it be a reconciliation with Russia or a border wall with Mexico. Bipartisanship may happen as a means to stop some of the most damaging things that Donald Trump is doing. And, who knows, that may be one of the strange lasting legacies of the Trump administration, is that bipartisanship might flourish in opposition to him.
Yeah, well, we can hope so. Thank you so much.
Thanks.